is 9 News with Davina Smith.
Good morning. We have JobKeeper and Job Seeker, and now the Prime Minister is about to detail Job Maker.
Coronavirus has changed life as we know it, but just how dramatically will it alter our habits long term?
Almost 600,000 jobs has been lost.
How has COVID-19 affected the physical workplace environment? Through conversation with others and secondary research online, a multiple perspectives were introduced surrounding this topic of future work. For me, the research question is one I found myself asking myself a lot lately. Prior to COVID, I had 3 jobs, all of which I was stood down from. It's because of this reason that I chose to explore the future of work, as I believe it impacts everyone. I conducted a survey designed for UOW BCM312 students. To align with UOW ethics and privacy laws, I made it clear to all students that they will be kept anonymous and have the authority to retract all statements if they decide. The survey questions were focused on how the students have been affected. It was interesting to note that more than half of those who responded said they were not impacted by the pandemic. 100% of the respondees noted that they believe working from home will become the new norm, and 100% also voted that they did not think working from home was more productive. These responses were super interesting to me and further shaped the next part of my primary research, interviews. Interviews are a critical part of my research. Although surveys are time effective and do reach a mass number of people, I believe that they have a default of not giving an in-depth analysis. I chose to interview 2 people. These 2 individuals were specifically chosen as they are of the younger age group and have totally opposite jobs. I also wanted to note that both these interviewees agreed to being filmed and agreed to the use of their first names.
Hi, my name's Tim. I'm 24. I'm an activation executive at Resolution Media.
Perfect. Have you been impacted by the current pandemic?
I have, yeah. I used to work in the city over in Pyrmont, and now I work from home full time.
So you were just talking about working from home. What did this involve?
So initially it was just a lot of meetings via Zoom and Microsoft Teams, which was a little bit annoying, but you sort of get used to it. And then it was setting up a second screen because initially I just had my laptop, so I had to fish out an old screen that we had lying around the house and buy a few cords to set it all up so that I could do my job.
Perfect. How did you find this?
At the start, I hated it. I missed the social aspect of it, and not having, usually I have 3 screens at work, even having 2 is a little bit annoying, but I'm pretty used to it now.
Okay, so do you find that you're more productive at home or more at work?
I think I go through phases. At the start, I wasn't as productive, but then I know if I've got something on, I don't have the distractions of going and walk around and talking to someone at work. So in that sense, I think I'm actually working harder now and more productive.
Perfect. So for the future of work and for the future of your work, what do you see, how do you think this pandemic is going to impact that, and what changes do you think will be made to your physical working environment?
I think potentially that my company might actually head to a smaller office just because of how it's hit my industry. Additionally, I think they're going to be a lot more flexible with people working from home. So I know in my situation, I might even ask to work 1 or 2 days a week at home just to eliminate that sort of travel time, and I can do my work from home. I've proved it for the last 2 months.
Hi, my name's Julian. I'm 20 years old and I'm a project manager for a construction company. I also study at the University of New South Wales. I do construction and project management.
Can you please explain your job to us?
Being a project manager at the construction company I'm with, it's an office-based job, so I work at the head office, but it also involves a lot of site time.
With this pandemic, how have you and your work been impacted by this?
Obviously being on site, it's crowded by a lot of tradesmen, and also in the site office sheds. We've had to minimise the amount of people that are spending time in the site office sheds and making sure that everyone is sanitising on site. In terms of the office space, their office shut down for a period of 2 weeks. They then sent all workers to work from home.
How did you find this? Did you find that you were productive at home? Did you find it challenging?
I still found working from home pretty productive. It also gave me the flexibility to have a bit more time to sleep in.
What is your working situation like now? Are you back in the office?
I'm back in the office at the moment, and we're back at site too. We still have limitations of numbers at site, and we still are sanitising in the office and at site.
Okay. So, for the future of your work and the physical environment, what changes do you think will be made?
I think everyone will definitely take a better notice of cleanliness on site and making sure that everyone's sanitizing in office. I think there will be a lot more online-based meetings with different projects and different teams. And I think that maybe in the future there will be a setup where we do a couple days at home and then more days in the office just to reduce admin costs.
The forefront perspective highlighted in both these interviews was that the workplace will be altered forever, whether it be big or small. Both interviewees recognised the physical changes made to the workplace, being the ability to work with others and the social aspect of working in the office, and the limited resources acquired at home. To gain a better understanding of these changes that will be made to the workplace environment in the future, I utilised secondary data. COVID-19 and the world of work is a research paper that explores the impact of the workplace now and what this means for the future of work. The data collected shows readers the amount of workforces needed to close and/or change their physical work environment during this pandemic. Here you can see the severity of the impact on different sectors. Through analysis of this research paper, it's obvious that all sectors of the workforce are not going to go back to normal immediately. This will take time, and many changes will need to be made due to financial loss and the safety of workers. Forbes released an article, 6 Ways COVID-19 Will Change the Workplace Forever. This article recognises the hardships faced with working from home, highlighting the lack of resources at home and further the impact this has on productivity. This idea of personal life and workplace life merging into one is introduced to further show the hardships being faced. Technology has virtually been a lifesaver during this time, introducing new norms of Zoom meetings and TikTok dancing. Because of technology and knowing that working from home can happen, businesses will see this through for a long time. Overall, it is apparent that working from home has involved many challenges, but through discussion with others, it's understood that it can be done and with time it will get easier. So my question, how has COVID-19 affected the physical workplace environment? This can be answered in a multitude of ways, but the overarching view is that COVID-19 has dramatically affected the physical work environment, whether it's because of the new restrictions introduced monthly, the need for hand sanitizer everywhere, or the new norm of working from home. There is just so much. But big or small, it's inevitable that the future of work is greatly impacted. Through interviews with those currently dealing with these dramatic changes, it's important to highlight the positives that have come from it. The introduction of new technologies and streaming services, which have allowed collaborative working to still be available. Businesses are having to adapt and reevaluate in-house procedures, giving them the opportunity to be better. Thank you.